Last time on the Legends of Aelos.
Our heroes, through their various means, some through acts of betrayal and misplaced trust, and others with blind trust and scheming, have all managed to make their way upon the ship, the Duskmire Bogger.
So you'll see before you a solid-built, muscular man, probably in his early 20s. He's wearing brown and tan leathers on top of his black long-sleeve shirt and pants. You may not see it now, but he is taller than most men, standing at about 6'3". He has a strong face and a few days old stubbled beard, but short, unkept black hair. He does have a over his left eye, he has a noticeable scar that does cut through his eyebrow, following through his cheek and to his cheekbones, so probably like right about here. And then at first glance, he does look like a normal human. He has normal human ears, but if you took a keen eye and took some time to notice that he does have some sharp elven features and some very distinctive silver eyes.
As this Rowan comes to consciousness, there's another figure in the room, a stout dwarf man with he has kind of a kind of coin-sized little kind of thick monocle thing that is red and orange, and he's chained cruciform to the wall, to the point where his shackles, he can't move from this position, and he kind of pulls his head up, and you see, Rowan, as you begin to wake up, your hands are shackled like this with a small chain in between, and this chain chained to the wall, with about a 4 to 5 foot length chain from the wall, and you were laying upon a bench that keeps you out of the water, but if you were to step down, you would enter about a foot of water that has accumulated through that gash in the side. And if you actually look, it's against your wall. You see that gash. You can actually see out there, and you can see a little bit of the early morning light and the bright sun shining upon the water and illuminating it a bit. But other than that, that's the only light that kind of creeps in, this dim, kind of murky, salt water bath, if you will. And in front of you, there's a wineskin kind of just floating in the water with the ship. And the dwarven man, my boy, give me a drink of that water. I'm so thirsty. It's been so long. I can't reach it. I need you to bring it over. And
Yeah.
he's chained just to your left. This is my left. I don't know what it looks like on the camera. This is my left. He's chained just to your left, up against the wall, and you're from where you are the only person that could probably reach that and get it up to him.
So as soon as Rowan hears him ask for it, Rowan's no hesitation is going to reach for it with his hands and try to get it, or in any way that he can, and try to get it. And he's gonna take the skin, and put his feet into the water, and try to pop the skin open and pour it into his mouth.
He just kind of, the way he's chained, he can't really move, but like this much, and he kind of just gets underneath it. Oh, God bless you. God bless you, my boy. When I take this ship back, I'm gonna make him pay. You're gonna be my right hand man for that, for sure.
And wait, he's gonna. Can Rowan look around the ship?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you see other figures, two very alert that just kind of chained there. Either one of you, if you would like to go first, you're also muted. Don't forget. How about Blind? Go ahead.
You see before you a Naramine, an elf of the Moonlake. Above average in height, with a lean but toned build, his skin a pale lavender, hair white with subtle undertones of mint green, and his eyes a piercing sea green, almost glowing. He wears a soft violet farrier kimono with cyan accents, his hakama adorned with liturgical vestments, all stood upon simple sandals. A tri-braided headband rests on his head, and a necklace with a vibrant amethyst gem affixed as the pendant hangs from his neck, almost glowing with like an ethereal glow.
And then Rowan's gonna scan to.
You see a wood elf. She's got deep berry red hair. She's dainty, stacked, wearing a green well-made dress. Stacked.
Important detail.
Just, you need to know she's stacked. And her hair is all put up with a rather unique hair ornament. And she's got very wild green eyes. And she's just looking at you with one eye cocked up.
Rowan's gonna get really nervous and kind of continue scanning the room.
I'm gonna notice. Sorry.
Then you would see Asher, not very tall. He's about 5'9". He's got a super bad farmer's tan. He's wearing a green chest piece with like black trim on it, fairly well made leather. But the thing you would probably notice most is his hair is completely like grayed out, except for a single streak that starts on his right side and kind of scoops over. And his eyes are unnaturally green, with a full beard of gray as well.
And Rowan's going to continue scanning the room.
There's also one last figure in here that is on the right side of this chained up dwarf figure. In the same way that you guys are shackled. It's a woman in a very light robes. She has actually pauldrons, kind of like a cleric's pauldrons, and a white hood, but underneath the white hood you see really sharp light blue eyes and white hair that drapes down the side and in front of her bust. And she just she sits there kind of with legs to her side upon the bench, kind of keeping out of the water, and just looks upon each of you. And then she actually locks eyes with you, Rowan, for a little bit. And she has this countenance of like concern. She kind of like looks away, looks down, and then looks back.
Rowan is gonna catch that look up again and kind of just shift back once more at everybody and turn to the dwarf. And is still holding it as if he wants, waiting if he wants more. Do you want more?
Just a bit more. I don't want to take it all from.
Okay, and I'm going to pour it in. And is this your bowl?
Yes, this is my ship. Look what he's done with it. He's not taking care of it all. It could sink by any day now.
How do you have any idea how we can get out of these? And I'm gonna kind of gesture to everybody. Is there any trick to these?
Well, these weren't a part of my ship at all. This is a new addition that he added. He bolted it on from the outside. I don't think there's any way we could pull it out without damaging the ship and then causing it to sink even faster than it already is. So you'd have to break the chains, but You make that kind of ruckus and they'll come back down. I've already tried. They slow you down to every turn. I'm not sure. But once we get our opportunity, no, I'm going to take him out.
Rowan is very confused, but he's going to turn back to the lady, say, "Are you okay?" The lady in the white cloak.
Mhm.
So
Yes,
holding the
I'm
flask.
good as I can be. Thank you. It's very kind.
She just kind of looks away.
You, and I'm gonna nod my head to the pretty colored elf.
Go ahead, say it. Stacked redhead.
Stacked redhead.
The red-headed elf. Are you okay?
You know, I was
Yeah.
sorry, just a quick. She's 5'4", but what with the heels? I was curious about that. I didn't know how to size her in the battle maps and stuff. Sorry, that was
Oh,
just
I'm,
Got 6 pops or something.
I'm still 5'4".
5'4".
Heels. Heels are just heels, my love. The heels are heels. I'm gonna be like, how good is your swimming skills?
Rowan's gonna just shrug.
And I'm gonna lean over to my compatriots and be like, thinking it would be faster.
This is true, but something tells me that it'd probably be a bit more difficult. Plus, I don't believe whom I'm assuming is Balin, and I'll gesture to the dwarf that said he was the
He
owner of the
kinda-
ship. Correct?
How do you know
Yeah,
my
I'm
name?
Balin.
I am.
Well,
You've heard of
you
me.
are actually, in a way, yes. I believe you are more familiar with certain relatives of my compatriot here. Isn't that right, Briar?
He kind
I
of
should look-
eyes you a bit, and
I'm
he's
gonna
like,
lean in. I should look a little familiar to you.
Sure?
That'd be the one.
I saw her not long ago. Right before all this went down. Well, what's all this about? Have you come to rescue me?
Well, initially, no, but most
Why are
certainly
you
no.
laughing? Are you laughing as Briar, or are you just laughing?
I'm laughing as Briar.
He's confused. Like, what?
Rowan's gonna look at him and shrug again. Just kind of.
We will be in the Calippi Isles in a few days here.
Clippy Isles.
Yeah, that's where they've been headed. They've already made a couple trips, but apparently the first shipment wasn't strong enough or something. I don't know. I heard them talking up above, but it wasn't enough.
Is there
Something about it needed slaves or for something. I don't know, to work on some project or something. I'm not sure.
Who wanted the slaves?
Captain Kerrigan, Kane, he not him, he's just the middleman trying to get all the delivery of them. Not sure who. I heard the voice of a man, but I didn't get a look of him. I've been chained like this the whole time, but when I go to the island, I could see and I recognise it because I've been there a couple of times and I know the sounds and all that. And they got there. I hadn't heard that voice before. I could only see out that crack a bit, but that's all.
Rowan
So no-
can.
Go ahead.
Rowan is going to look. I'm assuming it's like a little plate, like a square plate, about like this into the wall with the chain, correct? Probably, or something like that.
There's a big bar that all of the chain, and it's bolted on to the outside. From the outside of the ship, there's a big metal plate, and then through that's where the hooks are, or like the kind of like that is of the where
Does
your
it
chain
look
is
like
attached.
fragile or like loose or anything like that?
The state of the wood is not super great. Like it could probably use some more stain and be less waterlogged. But kind of like Balin was saying, it may put more gashes, more holes in the side of the ship, and then compromise it even further.
Go ahead and while the Neramine is talking, Rowan's gonna kind of look around and try to see if there's anything he can leverage to kind of take the chain off or break the chain.
There's
around
that chair leg that's floating around.
Rowan is gonna go ahead and grab the chain.
Go ahead and make a dex check. Just straight dex. Because it's just out of your reach. You're gonna have to kind of use your leg to kind of fish it over to you. Yeah, fish it over to you.
That's a 17 plus 4, so
Perfect,
that
yeah.
is a 20.
Oh, I blind.
20 for dex check.
Yeah, so you're plenty good. You kind of stretch to the side and reach out with your foot and kind of fish that chair leg over to you. And it's actually a pretty solid piece of wood. It's just kind of flimsy at where it was attached to the chair itself.
So basically what Rowan is going to do is try to find a good leverage point to try to force the chain to break at the wrists, if that makes sense.
I got you. So you're trying to break the link between the two manacles. How exactly are you? Both of your hands are here. How do you get that to?
Putting it in your legs like that?
Yeah,
or something?
yeah. I was gonna. So I'm trying to. No, that wouldn't work that way. It's almost like trying to.
You're trying to leverage against the chain, so you twist the chain and break the link at its fusing point.
That's exactly what I was trying to. I'm trying to describe it in the way like trying to get it in there and kind of just to pull it apart, just to kind of create more tension.
The leg itself won't fit in between the individual links. If that's what you're trying to do, you might be able to pry it into the actual hook link that is to the side of the ship. When you look at that, you might be able to put a little bit of that wooden leg into that and try to pry that.
Okay,
so it's like a ring link. Okay,
it's a ring link. Okay, that makes sense. So that is exactly what Rowan's going to do. He's going to try to break that ringlet that is holding the chain into the plate.
Okay, go ahead and roll a strength check.
I'm gonna lean up.
A 13, so that would be a 13 plus 3, 16.
16. Okay.
With
that, you
after the results.
Okay.
get that kind of right in there. It fits pretty good in there, and you start to pry it a little bit, and you hear the wood on the outside kind of, and just as you give a little bit more push, the leg snaps right where it was. There's still a lot of it left, but right in the little bit that you had in there is it snapped off a little bit.
I don't. Where are we gonna go if we escape?
Anywhere but here.
I can get you anywhere you need to go. It's my ship once I get it back.
Well, if I may, the reason why we know your name is not just by coincidence. Actually, both of us were tasked to find you, because our destination is, in fact, the ship. And a side note, though this might come as an immediate shock to you, Rowan, but Jathril actually helped us get on this ship, mainly to see that you were saved. I relay that he is...
He's gonna sharp look right at him.
It's true. We
Yes.
met him.
And it honestly has to be the younger one because the older one, the other guy is much older than you. So, yes.
Save me. He
Well,
wants to save me.
Let's just say that it didn't sit well with him, what transpired between the two of you. He told us the story about what the guild tasked him with and how you wound up here in the first place.
He's gonna Rowan. You see a little bit of tension just kind of leave from Rowan a little bit, and but a different kind of fuel takes him, and then Rowan's gonna take what's left of the leg and continue to pry at that ring a little bit more stronger and urgently.
Hi, young blood. Asher's gonna get fed up. He's gonna use primal savagery and try to break his chains.
Primal savagery. What does that do?
Yes,
Causes your
king.
teeth, fingernails to sharpen, and you deliver a corrosive attack. So I'm
So you're gonna
like,
attack the
break
chain.
the chain with my fingernails and try to basically use the acid damage to break it apart.
Roll for an attack.
Rowan
On the
rolled a
chain.
nat 20.
The inanimate object.
I'm putting it in chat, by the way.
A buy blind command. That's perfect.
13 plus 13 plus 6, so 19.
All right. So roll for damage, and then with your nat 20 on that, as you stick the chair leg in there once more. This time you put a little bit more of it, kind of a thicker part of the chain as far as you can, and you go. And as you do that, the chair leg breaks once again, but you see that the hook link where that is has began to kind of wear away a little bit. It's kind of become detached from the bolt from the outside, because it's like a U on the outside and then bolts this way, and it's become a little loose now, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mine was 8 acid damage onto the chain.
8 acid damage into the chain. All right. Let me make note of that. I can do it this way. My apologies.
Rowan's gonna turn to everybody, seeing that there's a little bit of leeway in the ring. All right. Well,
sorry, hold on. With that 8 acid damage, the chain. What exactly part of the chain did you try to attack?
So kind of like where I can reach it. So I'm manacled like this. So kind of like right across.
Like the links in the center, or at the ring, or
yeah, like at the center to break my wrists free.
Okay.
Right where you've applied that acid, the chain actually begins to corrode a little bit, but it's still a pretty solid. It's just like kind of like a fair amount of rust on it now.
Hey, that did not do as I planned.
There's pretty sturdy chains. As you guys are working away at this, you hear and see this a bit of light open up from the stairs on it's Rowan and the dwarf. It's their right, and you guys on the opposite end, it's their left. There's a set of stairs that lead up into this kind of murky area that you guys are in, and a bit of light kind of shafts in from there, and you see the shadows of a few figures, and you hear kind of sound of somebody being dragged in, and as these figures reach the base of the steps, two men on each side holding this figure. Havoc, if you would like to describe your character. At this point, he does begin to kind of regain consciousness and stand on his own a little bit, but he's still a little kind of doesn't have complete control of his body, but he's starting to get it back as these two men kind of lead him with his chains in the same way that you guys are manacled as well. So if you'd like to describe.
So I am chained against the wall, correct? Just double checking here.
Not
You're coming into the room. You're
quite
being
yet.
let in.
You're being led into the room. Three
Okay,
men, two men on each side, and one man behind you.
You see a man, kind of unconscious, coming to. His clothes are tattered and ripped, but seem to have a fine look. His shirt is blood red, and his pants are black. His face appears to be covered in leather straps, and he has bold features, and is not a small man from the way he holds himself, but he is also not overweight. At first sight, he would tend to intimidate the timid.
And with this, as he kind of comes to, they take him to a spot near both Briar and Karan, and puts him on their side, and attach him the same way that the rest of you are attached. And those two men kind of sit him down, and they head up. And there's one more figure that kind of stands around and should show up there.
Mm-hmm.
He has kind of slightly nicer clothes than the other shabby kind of pirate folk. One of them was even shirtless, and this figure, he kind of wades into the water and looks around.
Rowan is gonna act like he wasn't doing anything. He's
Mhm.
gonna kind of pretend like as if like how he was before.
Asher's gonna kind of cover the chain that's now rusted with his arm.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if I can catch anything on either of those guards as far as, where they keep their keys and what they might look like for
Roll for
identifying.
perception.
Okay. What's my passive perception, or do you want me to roll perception?
Roll for perception.
Roll perception, okay.
I will. After that, I'd like to address this dude.
It's only a 10.
10. Yeah, you don't really see anything on there. They kind of hurried in and hurried out. They did have kind of like short blades and hilts on each of their sides, and nothing of interest beyond that point. This figure, though, himself has a bit, like I said, a bit better dressed, much more kind of out of place as far as the rest of the kind of shabby clothes go and all that. Briar?
I'd like to look at him dead in the eye and be like, yes, can we help you?
Listen, it is it's in your best interest if all of you just ride along. When we get to the Calepi Island, we'll go from there.
He kind of looks off into the direction of the white dressed lady and makes eye contact, and she makes eye contact with him, and he kind of gives kind of a nod, and then like concerning look, and then
Yes, as I said, just play the course.
and with that the lady kind of looks away, and then with that he turns around and heads back up.
Sir, how long until the Calepi Isles?
As you say this, he kind of stops.
We've been at sea for about a day, so then we have a depending on how the wind favors, and probably 3 or 4 more days. Hold tight. Hold tight. And then with that, he heads up. You get a sense that he was kind of saying that so that the other guys couldn't hear, but he was saying it just low enough that if it was quiet enough, you would hear him say it. Like he was just kind of a reassured tone to it. And with that, he heads the rest of the way back up the steps and shuts the latch.
Is everybody gone?
Everybody's gone, yes. Yeah.
Alright.
At this point. And at this point, Ace, you've fully come to. You're, a little groggy, but nothing to affect you. You're kind of probably... It was more of just like a minor paralysis kind of effect.
What is going on? Where am I? What happened?
We're on a ship. Currently in chains.
A piece of shit, might I add. It's very
Bailing
wet.
on the
Don't
wall there.
put your feet down.
It wasn't like that when I had it. All right, I'll get her back to her prime once I get back to the dock. Oh,
Where's Boat?
sweet
Where's
Dusky.
Boat? What's going? I don't understand. Where's Captain Boat?
Bored. Sorry, friend. I'm unfamiliar with that name.
Smugglers. Can't trust a single one of them.
Rowan's gonna look around the room and look at that one lady in white again. Did Rowan see the kind of little nod that the man in Fancy Metro and
I would say because everybody was it wasn't subtle. There was nothing else to really look at unless you were looking at something else. But him addressing everybody in kind of like that quiet tone and then exchanging that look. It was a good second for that look.
I was going to say, actually, would my passive insight of 16 kind of help deduce that something bigger's going on that's not being said? Or
in what way?
No.
What do you think?
Like,
what do you think is
connection
going
to the two
on?
of them.
Yeah, if you want to ask her, or if you notice that, because you did notice it was pretty noticeable. So if you,
Okay.
however you want to respond to that,
Or if you want to ask about it too, you can do that too, bro. If it's not like something you needed to like see on the sly, like it was made kind of that everyone could see it.
And stupid question, Blind.
Mhm.
You guys did say that you were here to save Rowan, right? Like you were-
Correct. Yes.
Okay,
I
so
explicitly.
my name. You know my name. I
test
don't.
us.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
Mhm.
I just okay. So
I know I introduced myself. I think my name, and I said
We
Briere. I
didn't
think I
say
said
our
Briere.
names.
you guys didn't say your names. Rowan doesn't know who you guys are. But
I thought we did.
Rowan is going to look at the lady and try to see if he can make eye contact, kind of like acknowledging what he saw,
so
but
between
not saying anything.
you'd have to kind of like lean out this way and like away from your bench, because in between you is the burly dwarf chained to the wall, and then she's on the left there, and then you're on the
I would
right.
have
So
to get back up. Okay.
well, yeah, you'd just have to, it's chained kind of awkwardly against the wall, and then there's a bench right there, and if you just kind of like lean out from the bench, you just kind of like look past Balin's belly and see
kind of peek around
see her there.
and look at her. I think instead Rowan is just going to, his focus is to try to get himself free. You said it's a little bit loose at the top, right? Like
Yeah, just a smidge. Just a smidge.
Okay, so what Rowan's gonna do is kind of try to apply what is the
Circular, centripetal.
what's left of the chain, and he's gonna kind of try to like loop it around the top,
Mhm.
and then what he's gonna do, he's just gonna push down to try to break the rest of that link.
Roll another
try to
strength check.
There's a word for it. What's my? It's 14.
Leverage.
Oh, there's you want to have a you don't want it taunt. So 14, 3,
Gotcha, yeah.
17.
17. As you apply this pressure, again, using that same kind of method, it goes. I mean, it's pretty loud. So it's not necessarily subtle. It is pretty kind of.
Well, I was more so of just like
And
a
it
like a force pull, not like a constant yank. It was
Okay,
more of like
gotcha.
kind of like you're pushing through, kind of a thing.
With that roll, the bolts on that start to loosen up a little bit more. You have a little bit more slack, maybe
Slack. That's the word I was
quarter
talking.
inch of slack on between the bolts of that U kind of hook that has you attached to the wall. As this transpires, you hear kind of a rustling in the water, like a and you hear within the walls of certain areas of the ship, you hear kind of like a more rustling outside of like the wall, outside of the among the wood and stuff, just kind of like. And then you hear as several really waterlogged, mangy looking, really large rats begin to pour out of a kind of a nook underneath the stairs that the men had earlier left up, and they come over, and one of them to the first person that sees is actually going to make a bite attack against Rowan, and I need everybody to roll initiative.
Okay.
For the rats?
For the rats. For the rats.
I got a
Hey.
14.
I got a 10.
14.
8 plus.
6.
Got a 9. My D9.
If you guys want to just go
I
ahead
got
and
a
post
17.
your rolls in private chat, and I'll just copy and paste them from there. That'd be probably the easiest way to do it for now.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And you're gonna roll for the random woman.
17. Yeah, I'll roll for them, for those people.
Dang, I wanted to ask her a question. I'll ask her after.
Okay, sorry. 17. Karan. 14's the highest. Rowan. There's about 6 of these mangy little rats, by the way. They kind of swim through the water. They barely just kind of tiptoe along the. They're large enough that even at like about a foot of water, they can actually kind of touch, but they kind of half swim, half rush towards that. And as they all kind of come out, Balin kind of picks his legs up a little bit that aren't chained and kind of picks them up. All right, not again, not these. And you write everybody's initiative. Rowan,
What's
you take.
the heck, Balin? You said this wasn't a piece of shit ship, yet it has rats? Are you kidding me?
I haven't been in charge of the ship for long enough that it's gone to this state.
Excuses,
It's
Balin.
part of the reason why I'm going to absolutely destroy that man.
And
Rowan, I'm gonna roll for an attack. That's a 15.
to hit? Does
Yes,
not hit.
15 to hit. Does not hit. Okay. This rat goes to take a bite at you, but it just kind of bites at your boot and just kind of looks up at you.
Rowan.
And no damage there. Sorry, I'm still writing everybody's initiative. Ace with a 10. And Briar. So, Ron, you can go ahead and do your action if you'd like, or your round.
Yeah,
You're
so-
first in line.
So No, yeah. Since Rowan has his hands tied, literally, he's going to just try to stomp on that closest rat to him.
Roll a unarmed attack.
Too bad. That's a 14 again. Plus
hits.
5.
That's good.
Well,
Yep.
unarmed attack. So yeah, plus 5. So that is a 19 to hit.
Yep. Absolutely hits.
Okay, so that is 4 bludgeoning damage. I don't think I roll for it, so
4 bludgeoning damage. Bye, rat. It's dead. You actually absolutely just crush it with just, and then its head kind of just.
And then with Rowan's bonus action, he's just gonna turn to turn to the dwarf and I'm gonna get you out of here, and we're gonna get rid of these things. And then he's gonna turn his focus back to the chain.
Okay. Next up is Ace.
So, still trying to understand what exactly is going on. How are my chains? Am I against the wall, or am I in front with a chain going back
Same
to
way
a
everybody
ring?
else. It's a chain. You're chained like towards the wall, but faced in front of you. Like the chains are in front of you, but they're like up against the wall this way. That you have about a 5 foot of slack. But in order to
Can I
like
pull-
to face
So the bench
everybody
and
in the
put them
center of the
like
room,
this.
you'd have to be like this some way or another to have your
Mhm.
arms, facing
So my
everybody.
hands are close to each other, then chained together. Yes.
Yeah, there's about like this with like a small, like maybe 3-link chain in between there, between those. Mhm.
So I understand I need to get out of these chains. So I'm going to, in an anger, rage, try to pull my hands
Are you
apart
raging?
and break these chains.
Yeah, rage and then roll for an attack on the chains. It'll just be an
Would that just be a
unarmed.
strength
Yeah,
check?
it'll just be an. Are you trying to do damage? I don't know
Trying
how
to
I would do like damage
them
the
apart.
chains without doing to pull them apart. Go ahead and make a strength check. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you have a benefit with the rage and the strength check. Go ahead and do a strength check. My apologies.
That's a 30, 20.
Dirty 20. With that, as you are raging and you pull the chains with your big bulging raging muscles, the chain goes and you see actually at the link right where the chains are on your left hand, the link is kind of loosened. It's kind of jostled a little bit. That is the kind of the pin that's holding that in there, but it does not break. Not quite yet. Do probably a few more checks like that. And we have. Is that all for your turn? Anything?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and now we have Briar, right? Or did I skip?
Hang on a
Yes.
second.
Briar and then Ace.
Did-
Or
Did
Asher.
Karan go?
Karan's
No,
first.
I'm 17. I should have gone first.
You should have gone first. Why did Rowan go first? What did I miss? I'm sorry.
The rat attacked.
The
and I
rat
think he was
attacked him.
distracted with the rat.
Oh, and then I made her roll. Okay, I made Rowan roll an attack after. Okay,
It's okay.
that's
It's all
fine.
good.
It-
Immediate
you have
reaction.
free
All right,
reaction.
so there was
Just
only one
get
rat.
out of your rat.
Only one rat.
There's about 6 rats. The first one just came in right away and attacked her. The other ones kind of just flood into the room. They kind of like half swim, half kind of tiptoe walk towards the other kind of chained people. One of them does actually make its way to you. Probably within a little, maybe 3 foot from the wall. So yeah, you would have that 5 foot of leeway to move or make an attack or whatever you'd like to do.
would Karun perceive that if he were to cast Sacred Flame, that people would notice outside of the spell?
Does Sacred Flame make a noise, or is it like,
No, Sacred Flame just casts like flame like radiant. So basically, like a
radiant
sunburn type of searing light.
I think you'd get away with it fine. Not any more than people going to the chains and all that.
Valid point. So I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame on it. That's just it's a 1d8 14 dex save, so it's got to roll a dex save.
Oh, poor rat. Dex save. It's got +0.
Oh.
It's a 7.
Okay, so that's let's roll that. Damage. That's a 6.
6. This rat absolutely just kind of melts. It kind of boils up, has an extreme like sunburn, and then just kind of shrivels up, and you smell this stench of roasted rat, wet, salty, watered bog rat, basically. I'm sorry.
I don't like being bit.
I don't like getting bit. That's so great. Now we are over to Asher, unless you have anything else you can do on your turn.
I mean, I can't try to. There's no way I'm past a strength check, and I already attacked the spell. So.
Well, it would be my turn though.
Yeah. Yes. 14, and then Ace went, and then it'd be Briar. Asher's last.
Okay. Oh wait. That's right. Okay. That's right. I messed up the order. Once we get from here forward, we will do it the right order. Briar, your turn.
I'm going to be really annoyed. Very, very annoyed. I'm going to lean over to the woman and be like, if you have a plan,
While this is happening.
if you have a plan, you might as well just involve us, because you really, I'm hungry, I'm getting mad, I'm not happy. And then I'm gonna look at that rat, and I'm gonna cast Mind Sliver.
Is it a wisdom save? Is it a wisdom save? Or what is
Jesus Christ!
I wonder what that's like, actually, like penetrating into a rat's
I'm
body.
gonna penetrate into the rat
Squeeze!
for one.
Talking about pink shame.
Roll
geez.
for an attack, or is it a save?
Nice.
Is it an attack or a save?
Do you want to try to save?
How does it work? No, what is the spell
and
saying?
roll. If you can hit a 13, then the little squeeze gets to squeeze
Hey!
some more.
It might survive. It's just a flat 20. There's no
Good.
plus.
Flat 20.
It, if anybody has charisma based things, this
No.
has a 4 charisma.
Oh yeah, intimidation. Nobody likes rats. Fair enough.
15 actually on the dex save, so it'll be half damage though, right? Or
Yeah,
it
so
takes
half of a
damage
1d6
on
psychic.
All right, so I rolled a 6, so it's going to take 3 psychic damage. So I want to hear it scream.
this rat, as it kind of swims, puppy dog paddles, it kind of like looks around, trying to look for something to bite, and it locks eyes with you, and then you do this mind sliver thing, and it goes and it kind of curls up and goes under the water and kind of pats its brain, but it actually starts to bleed out of its eyes a little bit, but it's still kind of swimming around. It's freaking 1 hit point left. This
Carnage!
This poor rat. 3 damage. Yeah, they have 4 health, by the way. Oh wait, I did that wrong. It's 1d4 minus 1. It died. It
failed the check and died instead.
It died instead. Yeah, it's
Let it be known.
it just kind of not peacefully, but just kind of floats there now, with its mind kind of melted. All right. right. Terrible. Let's go. We are over to Asher.
So
How are you gonna brutalize your rat?
Asher's gonna like kind of
He's a druid.
shake his head and be like, "I'm sorry, little guy." And I'm gonna take
Aw.
a drop of water from the ground, and I'm gonna throw an ice knife at one of the surviving rats.
Okay, throw it.
Nice to meet you.
That's in that one.
Oh.
Can't reroll, huh?
I'm gonna go ahead and say nothing super chaotic happened here with this nat one. You just catastrophically fail. When you throw this knife, it kind of hits the water at kind of a good angle to it kind of just becomes like a skipping rock, and it kind of slides into one of the rats that's swimming around, and it kind of bumps it. Doesn't do any damage, and it just kind of looks over at you and kind of and then two rats actually make their way over to you and they're going to roll for attacks on you.
I'm gonna just look at the party and be like,
That's a nat 1 for one of the rats. Hold on, I keep rolling it. Oh, my phone. Rolling it cocked here.
just lift up my feet.
And an 11. Unless there's more to this attack.
Miss. AC of 12.
Plus 0 to hit.
Can I-
AC of 12.
I just lift my feet up.
Okay, you just lift your feet up and the rat's like, "Ee!" It tried to like get up to you, but the bench is a little too high. Okay, now we're back to Kuran.
Well,
This is like
as that happens, I'm just gonna look at the group and be like, I have faith. We will
I have
reach
faith.
the
I
island
have faith.
in time.
Asher's so annoyed with all of this. He's like, I don't get this. Why?
And he kind of closes his eyes again, is kind of like half looking at the rats, like.
So one missed and the other hit him.
No, it missed too.
Or did-
It was an 11.
okay,
He has a
they-
12.
They both missed. Okay, cool. I'm going to I guess I'll bonus action this first before I try. No, I'll just say it after the fact. It's gonna respond to you looking at us in response to you missing. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna hit it with my sacred flame. So
Intense
roll
rat
your
raising.
beautiful 14. Pick whichever one. I don't care.
12.
Okay, so now let's roll my.
For
That's the
nothing
7. So
effects.
I roast this one too, apparently.
Okay, it's gone.
Okay.
Just another
And then I'll
roasted rat. The
respond.
smell intensifies, and this one kind of boils and kind of tries to escape it, and it tries to swim around, tries to go under the water, but then when it goes under the water, it comes back up, and the life has left its body.
And in response, I'll use my bonus action, I guess, whatever, to you, Asher, like looking. I'm like, well, at least it didn't melt.
Like,
You are very funny.
Okay, with that, we are over to Rowan.
What is going on?
Rowan's gonna look at Ace, who just asked, and is gonna look at him but not say anything. Is there any rats near him?
Near Rowan?
Yeah.
So wait, we've killed 3 so far, right? We mind slivered 1, we've sacred
we killed
flamed 1,
yeah.
and you've
4.
killed 1. There's
I've
two-
killed 2 with sacred
Yeah.
flame.
2
is
rats
the-
left. These 2 have made their way kind of to the back of the ship, away from where they came, and they kind of just like look around and try to swim back, kind of like down the middle lane. They're trying to run away back to their little hole, to their home.
So
But
Rowan
one
just-
passes by, probably within range that you could make an attack for it.
Um,
An awkward leg attack.
Rowan's not going to attempt that. Rowan's just gonna kind of like let them be.
Okay.
And what he's going to do is he's gonna pull the chain out as much as it can, like towards taunt, and he's gonna kind of like take his hands over his shoulder like this, and he's just gonna pull on that chain to try to break it free one more time.
All right, roll for a strength check.
Grog, come on, don't fail me now. Well, that's a 12.
The 12.
Plus...
You kind of get that
Grog failed me.
awkward, like, you get that
Hang on,
awkward
I gotta do the dex, so that'd be 15 with the modifier.
dex, a 15 with
Strength modifier or dex?
strength modifier.
Strength, so that
This
would be
is
15.
Kind of a more,
15.
more of a strength. With that, you get kind of that awkward, like when you go to put your seatbelt on and you just go kind of feeling. But it did loosen it up actually just a smidge, a little bit more. But you did get that kind of prevented
Rowan's
whiplash there.
Is gonna stay in that position, and he's like, just a little more. And he's gonna keep pulling.
All right, perfect.
But that's it.
Okay, with that, we are over to Ace. Your turn.
Yeah. So, grab. You said this pin, and these shackles is starting to come out. So I'm gonna try to focus all my strength on that, and either try to break it, pull it, something along those lines of getting it out, and do another strength check.
All right, roll for it.
Those are 2 17s plus 4, so 21.
Heck yeah. All right. With that, you do it once more, and it's really loose now. I mean, it's almost like you could probably just finagle it with it a little bit more, and it would come out. Where are we at now? We're at Briar. The two rats, one of them is passing by you now at this point. Just about to be just out of range here. This is the one that there's one kind of behind the other. You're about to see the one is kind of a little bit further back, probably in range of Asher here, and then this one's kind of passing by you, that between you and Rowan.
Well, do they both look like they're retreating?
Yeah, they look like they're trying to go back to their little home.
Oh, it's kind of get brutalized.
Mine's little.
You're sitting next to a druid, by the way.
Yeah, no. Because they don't look like they're going to bite anyone right now, I just don't give a shit. I give more of a shit about the woman, and so I'm going to use this moment.
Perfect.
And be like, Mom, you didn't even lift a finger for the rats that clearly wanted to bite you. You're still not talking. And I would like to we would all greatly appreciate being chimed into whatever the fuck is going on.
Well,
And then I'm gonna... Oh, wait, go ahead. No, speak, please. It's gonna be
None
me.
of the rats came near me. I had no need to attack them.
What about the one right next to you? I'm gonna
It's not
minor
one.
illusion.
Oh,
An angry rat. Very angry rat.
She looks to her side and she kind of like shifts over and towards Balin and kind of like stands up, and she then like reaches out with her foot and kind of kicks it, and then the illusion is broken. And then she like looks over at you.
Way to build
And
trust.
then and then she just kind of like gives you a quizzical look, and then just for the slightest moment you see just kind of like a little smirk, but then that's it. Respect. And last but not least, Asher, would you like to destroy one of these fleeing rats before we end initiative here?
So I'm actually gonna let him go, and I'm gonna be like, "Alright, if you guys are done playing, Do we want to escape?
Do you want to escape?
As
And
like
I'm gonna like,
chain, like
and I'm gonna be like, stop, look, inconspicuous. I have a plan. And then that'll be my turn. Are we leaving initiative order?
Yes, we're leaving initiative.
Okay, and then I'm gonna wait for everyone to stop and be like, "Hey, look like you're not trying to escape. I'm gonna get us some help."
Who exactly are you?
Name's Asher. Not related to that cockbag.
Get that out in the open.
Watch this. And I'm gonna yell, "Gods! Help!"
You're yelling for the guards?
I'm gonna call a guard down.
Oh, guards. I thought you said gods. Okay.
okay. Rowan is gonna put his take the chain off of his shoulder and kind of get closer to the wall, as almost like he was just standing there.
And
I'm gonna try to kind of kick the roasted rat away from me.
I'm gonna break my chain.
I'm just gonna
I'm gonna break my chain. As you're actually calling out, you hear and see the light from the shaft open up because you guys kind of made a lot of ruckus, kind of destroying some rats. The hatch opens up, and you hear, distinctive to some of you, the.
Oh,
That's what I wanted.
these assholes.
Captain's coming.
And you see your lovely captain. And he makes his way midway down the hatch of the stairs. Kind of puts his hand on the ceiling there and kind of peeks in, looks around with his one good eye.
Hey,
Now, play along here.
Down here, I was hoping you could have one of your men kill it for us.
Yeah, as he's made his way down, the rats have kind of just made their way underneath the stairs and kind of ruffling behind underneath the stairs.
Yes, this rat problem that we have. Truly a shame, isn't it, Balin?
And he kind of looks off to Balin, kind of taunting him, and Balin,
didn't have that problem till you got here, you rat.
and the captain kind of looks around with the rest of you.
Try to keep the ruckus down, if you could.
Captain, could you have a guard come down? I've been nothing but helpful to you.
Roll for deception.
Is that deception? Because
Is it just persuasion?
So it's you. It's you that captured me. I enjoyed smoking your cigars.
deception.
He does have a cigar lit right now as well. What's that?
Deception is a 6.
That's 6. He kind of just laughs.
Okay.
Oh,
so
you couldn't handle a couple of rats then, could yous? Oh,
Then-
poor babies.
I'm going to cast Charm Person on him.
Sure. Is there a range for that?
30 feet.
30 feet.
30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Wisdom save of 14.
I think the ship can't be that big.
Well, let me get his stats.
Expect the unexpected.
I don't. I am surprised.
I was hoping to get a dumb one, but
Dumb
the
one.
captain's not complying, so
Nope. You're stuck with a captain himself.
The cat.
Okay. That's a 16 plus 0. It's a
save of
plus
14.
0.
Damn. Let's try.
What are the components of that? Did you have to say something?
Verbal, somatic.
Verbal and
And he
somatic.
knows.
So you would
that
have to give a
there
hand
is-
motion as well then, yeah.
Yeah, he knows that I did that.
So he knows that you did it.
Yeah.
He kind of like winces a bit. I'll be your captain for the rest of this journey. The name's Kerrigan Kane. If you all play along, you might make it across the Warringsister Sea to your journey, your destination. I would rather not have yous walk the plank. But if it comes to that, it comes to that, doesn't it? And he kind of just hangs out there a little bit longer, eyes everybody down, and spits towards Balin and makes his way back up.
Appreciate it, Captain.
And then shuts the hatch.
As soon as the hatch closes, Rowan is gonna throw that chain back over and then continue and then do a real solid push and pull.
Alright.
And
Yeah. Same for Ace.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
I'll
some anger.
try to primal savagery that chain link again.
Go ahead and roll your rolls. And
that is a
Briar?
19 plus 3, so 22.
got an
With
18.
that on yours, you've been working at it for a good while. You gather at this point, you could probably just like grab a hold of that hook and like shake it like this and kind of break where the wood is where it's attached. What was that for you, Ace?
18.
18. With yours, you and it breaks loose. And what were you doing, Asher?
Primal savagery that chain link again, so that's a 14 for that.
14 for the, well, I guess the attack damage. Did you damage, or you don't really need to roll for an attack because it's gonna hit. It's the chain.
Okay, so it's
It's a chain. It dodges. Get
The shackle dodge.
Just
It was a shackle of evasion. Damn it.
roll the damage for it, I guess. I mean, I guess that
Yeah.
determines how much damage you do. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Or
it's-
whether,
yeah, it's 8 acid damage.
So with a 14
again.
though, yeah, you still hit it. 8 acid damage. Once again, it's really corroded, and it's actually it's decreased its mass kind of substantially, so it's substantially weakened at this
And
point.
then I'll try to.
We'll move over to Briar.
I want to address woman again.
Okay. I always feel like somebody's watching me.
I'm like honed in. What are you doing? Hi. I'm honed in. Sorry, I got distracted.
You're gonna ask her some questions?
Yes. I'm honed
About
in.
to axe somebody.
I'm Briar. It's nice to meet you. And tell me, if we are all going to these sacrifices, why is he telling you to be patient and play along when clearly the rest of us aren't playing along and we're all trying to escape and you keep your mouth shut? It's amazing. I love it.
When the guy was addressing it, he was addressing it to everybody, saying just kind of play it chill, and then he just kind of gave a look to her.
Okay, well, why the look? Lover? What?
I think just saying a friend could have been more subtle.
Roll a persuasion check, actually.
Okay.
Let's see how she responds to this.
Where did my... Oh, yeah, it's in my nut.
I bust out that nut.
Bust out the nut.
Bust a nut.
Okay. And persuasion? Starts with a P, ends with an Asian. Oh, yeah, we're charisma. We have 0. Okay, I rolled a 15.
15. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's good nat. That's a good nat. I'm sure all of this will make sense in time. As far as the sacrifices go, I'm not sure that is our
Are we
destiny.
still in initiative?
No, initiative's gone. The rats are gone. Yeah.
Okay, so You got.
Yeah, by this point you did
Ace
break
is
your
gonna
chains.
be-
You just
Yes, Ace is gonna be kind of leaned over, like his hands in between his legs and his head's tilt down. He's gonna kind of say, "If I help you kill that captain, and I heard you say this was your boat beforehand, will I get safe passage to Eswind?"
Absolutely. You're gonna have to free us all, though. We're all gonna have to be on tip-top shape. There's a lot of them up there. We'll have to take them out.
I'd like to.
It'll be quite a
Stand up
scrap,
directly.
not gonna lie. They got weapons.
I'd like to stand up directly and walk over to him and just, with still this anger, attempt to just pull one of his like the wrist, like off, just off the wall. Completely.
The shackle.
I'm not gonna have you roll for this, but I'm gonna say it will take a little bit of time. So you're sitting there working at it while other things are transpiring. If anybody would like to do anything else themselves.
Rowan is going to give, just do that last few tugs just to try to break himself free of the chain.
Does anyone have
By this point, I'd say, yeah, you just kind of, and it breaks off and breaks down.
And he's going to walk over to Balin as well and start
Work on the
working
other
on
hand.
the other wrist to pull him free.
we have a plan once
Where's-
we are free
where-
of these?
Where's the weapons on this ship? Where are they kept?
I'm not sure where he's keeping them, but there's a storage compartment right above us. I don't imagine that he's taking them from far from there, but it's we'll have to look through the crates and the chests there. I do have a chest that he might have kept them in there. I don't know. We'll have to check once we get free, but once we go, there's no going back and we're gonna have to fight to the death.
Once
Are
we
you all
open
good
this,
at fighting?
this
Can you handle your own?
manage.
I'm certainly better at making sure that you can maintain that, but yes.
Once we open that hatch, what do we expect? Where's the hatch lead to?
I'm not sure how many there are. I don't know if they'll have anybody in this storage compartment themselves, but there's 2 stories. We're at the bottom level, and we're gonna have to work our way up through there. If we can do it quietly, we'll be able to look for our gear on that second tier, and then make our way up to the deck of it. But then that's when the fighting will begin. I'm not going to be much help right now in my current stay. I've been here for what feels like weeks. I'm a bit drained. I've got nothing in me, but I'll do my best. But if I don't survive, then you all die, because this ship will go down without a proper captain.
You're
You ain't gonna die.
You're
No
not.
passage to Eswin.
Question.
Mhm.
Can I use Sacred Flame to try to melt the link?
Does Sacred Flame work that way? I don't actually know.
I mean,
How does
technically,
that-
all the
think it
spells say
might.
target creature, but that's your discretion.
Mhm.
Is it focusing on a point, or does it have to explicitly be a creature?
You can try to focus on a point. What point are you focusing it on? Because it'll
I
get
mean,
hot.
like-
It'll get some hot metal.
So you know how they said there's 3 links. There's going to be 2 half links, and then there's the middle link.
Mhm.
Where that middle link is, I don't know if it's fused or just bent together, or could just be bent together. I just want to break that link. So
Mhm.
basically, I want to sever one side of the link, so then I can just easily.
Perfect.
Pull it
Yeah. Again, I'll say that you're working at that for a little bit here while some
Okay.
things transpire, and eventually you'll get it as the
Okay.
metal kind of heats up and you start to get weaken the chain link in between you. Anybody else?
Is there anything that
Yeah.
might transpire while we're just trying to get everyone free? Do you
Uh,
want us to make?
is everybody just trying to get get
so
free
Ro-
here?
so Rowan is going to turn to the guy helping him try to break Balin free. You got this, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna gesture to the woman in white down there, because there was eye contact made. Rowan is very curious. Rowan, Balin, I'm gonna leave you with him, and I'm kind of like with him saying that he's gonna look to the gentleman and kind of like hoping he kind of there's like a little bit of introduction. I'm Rowan.
To who are you turning to?
To Ace. What would be Ace?
Mhm.
Kind of to introduce him. So
Mhm.
there's a little bit of
Yeah.
familiarity.
So Ace kind of he doesn't make eye contact. He's still really trying to get these chains off. But he kind of lowers his head and he goes, "Ace, nice to meet you, Rowan."
Nice to meet you as well. And he's gonna kind of shift. Rowan's gonna shift to the woman in white and kind of try to work on her wrists. Trying to like work on the nut or bolt or whatever it is that's keeping it in place. And
Trying to get
while
that
he-
nut.
That's right.
I was like,
Right, as soon as I said it, I was like, no.
Rowan trying to get that
and-
nut.
And
A trope of series has been established.
as he's saying that, he's gonna look right up to her and say, trying to keep it low profile is Jesus Christ. Do I know you?
She kind of just like looks up at you intently, and then, "No, I don't believe so. Why do you ask?"
It's just that when we made eye contact earlier, it almost felt like you knew me or something. You looked away and you looked back. I was afraid that maybe I should know you, and then Rowan's just going to keep working at it.
I believe I have seen you before, but I don't believe you have seen me. But it was not in a normal sense. I'm sorry, I don't know how to describe that.
So you're fine.
It's something I saw
Fine.
once.
I'm sorry. What did she say? I missed that.
Oh, you're saying, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Not in this sense that... Not in a normal sense of people meeting each other and knowing each other, but sometimes I see things, and I saw something that involved you once. It might have happened, I don't know, but it may yet still be.
You probably heard my name, but I'm Rowan, by the way, and he's still
She
really
takes kind
working.
of she takes one of her shackled hands and kind of like daintily like reaches out to kind of shake your hand the best she can with the shackles on.
Rowan gently takes her hand and shakes it, and like a just a gentle handshake.
It's a pleasure to
Yours?
finally meet you, Rowan. My name is Elena.
Nice to
And then
meet
she
you.
kind of holds for like a little bit and then turns away and just kind of waits for you to break the chains or break the bolt, bust a nut.
Give him a couple minutes.
A couple minutes is all he needs.
Jesus Christ. Does the name Elena ring any bells to Rowan?
Roll and I don't know, how do I do it? How would I roll for something that's memory?
Intelligence.
Intelligence, just
Straight
like
history.
intelligence checks?
Yeah, you
It's
can
not
do history, you
necessary-
can do
it's like-
intelligence, you can do.
It's not like a history of the world, it's more of like a personal history. Would history still
History
do
doesn't
for
just
that?
mean history of the world. It could also be history of your own
Okay.
self.
Yeah,
Mhm.
go ahead
Yeah,
and
just
roll
remembering something.
roll for that.
Doesn't know shit. So I rolled a 6. I got a -1. It is a 5.
It is a 5. There, you feel like you should know her from somewhere. You just can't pin it. It's just one of those things where it's like, where have I seen this person? How do I not seen this person? Where have I heard this name or this description? That's it.
I'm gonna get you out of here, and I'm gonna look over my shoulder, basically to the next person. Who's closest to me after her?
Asher, right?
Asher,
So-
right?
It's her,
Mm-hmm.
and then how did I align this? So
It almost,
if we're
it would have been
looking at
Asher.
the
It would have been
stairs,
Ace. I think it
yeah.
would have been Asher.
If we're looking at the stairs, the way I've kind of envisioned it is, if you come down the stairs, you're coming down the stairs on the right side. The order is Briar, Huron, and then Ace. And on your guys' side, it's you,
Mhm.
then Balin
Mhm.
in the middle, and then Asher, and then at the far end on that side is her.
So she's in the middle and the back opposite the stairs.
She's
Oh,
in
I
the
thought she
back,
was
yeah.
next to Balin. Okay.
I thought Balin was in that position at first.
Yeah, I did
Oh,
too.
I
Yeah.
thought she was
Oh,
further
okay.
away.
Okay.
She's
well, that's
she's
fine.
furthest away from compared to everybody else. She's furthest away from the steps.
Gotcha. Okay.
Off in the
So,
left corner from the steps. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
So
Theater of
No,
the mind.
no, it's fine. So Rowan is again is going to kind of look over at Asher and make eye contact with Asher, and that's
Asher's just like plucking that thing like a guitar string with his primal savagery, letting the acid burn through the chain.
Ba-da-ding-ding-ding-ding.
Yeah, after Ace gets done too, he'd probably look at Briar and Karan. Do you need help?
I think I've.
Is
got
this
mine.
red hot right now?
I'm sort of like,
and by this point, he just kind of separates his hands, and it just kind of
oozes all that.
I'm gonna say
just melted.
little sizzles as it hits the
Yeah.
water beneath my feet. No, I think I'm good.
please. I know I've been rather grumpy. I'm just hungry.
You might be quicker than I.
I say okay, and I
Uh,
go over there. To
Briar,
her
have you
and I-
forgot something also?
Have I? What?
You had a way out, remember?
Oh, I do have a way out, but I should save that.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure. Sorry.
No,
I just
I
want to
don't-
make sure. Okay.
If a big strong man is offering to help you, little girl, take it. Okay. I've got things I don't want wasted because they could kill people. So let him be strong.
Yes. Oh, that's a good point. Yes.
Right.
It's a weapon,
I
not a.
reluctantly
Oh, that's right.
start pulling on this pin. Same
remember
pin,
what-
same location. As with
Uh,
mine.
Yeah, by this point, that shackle on the left side is really loose now, and by that point, he kind of just breaks it off himself the rest of the way. He has one arm free, the right arm still the one that Rowan abandoned, not negatively, but I'm just like moved on from, is now still fully sturdy there.
Okay. Can you get yourself free from here?
Not with my strength. I'm not necessarily a lock picker or anything. Could definitely use another hand.
He tries to tug on it a little bit, but it's kind of a compromised position to kind of pull that off, and it's especially like he's got a muscular, strong frame, but he's pretty emaciated in his current state. He's been kind of.
So at that point, I imagine Rowan's probably done helping the lady. So I'll ask her to help him, and I'll help this lady.
Yeah, and Rowan's gonna make eye contact with her and say, "I'll be back," and then he's gonna he freed her, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
By now, yeah,
So
I'd
with
say.
that, Rowan is just gonna go back to Balin and start working on the rest of his chains, his wrist and ankles, just because Ace asked for help.
I'm gonna walk up to him. To Balin as well too. Now that I'm free.
Perfect. With this, you hear a bell faintly, through the two stories that you guys are there, you hear, and you hear some kind of shouting, and just as you hear all of that, the boat just rocks and kind of cants up a little bit, and water actually starts to pour in a little bit from the front, where the steps are, where the rats came out, and the
can I cast shape water?
yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Can I cast
It's
shape
pouring
water on
in.
them?
It's not like you're not going to be sinking like very, very quickly, but it's
just to hold it back.
Still.
kind of hit
Coming in.
land a little bit, and or something, and water is starting to kind of pour in through that area where it just rocked, and by that point it kind of rocked the boat pretty good, and with that you see and hear people kind of shouting and stuff, or you hear people shouting up above, and Ace, roll a perception check. And who else is near him helping with Balin?
Am I free?
I'm right next to him.
You've not
I'm
been freed yet,
assuming
not quite yet.
Yeah, I'm like still working on this chain.
And
It's me and Karan working on Balin right now. I think Ace is working on Briar.
Yeah, and I wasn't actually even going to be helping break out, because I figured you had that.
Yeah, I do.
I was actually going to cast Cure Wounds on him.
okay,
On Balin.
kind of just like improve him a little bit. All right, perfect.
That's
How much
something
for
better.
that? I'm going to write that down for.
that
Next
is going
time.
to be. It's only 8. 8.
8.
It's about all I can muster for now, but hopefully it helps.
You kind of like.
I know this captain don't know how to drive a ship. We just hit land.
And with that, what was your perception roll? Rowan and
5.
Ace. 5 and Ace, or Rowan?
I'm gonna roll my perception. That Rowan doesn't understand shit, so that's a 4 plus. Can I use my passive?
You know what? For this, go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's a 13.
Ace, use your passive as well.
It's a 13.
13.
Mhm.
It's pretty obvious enough. That shaft of that gash in the side of the ship where that kind of the shaft of lights was coming in. You see, it gets blocked for a moment, and then it opens it back up again, and you see again, and you hear on the side of the ship, and it's blocked again, and then you hear more. And just for a moment, you see something climb up the side of the ship and kind of peer in through that crack. And you see these fish-like eyes with gills protruding from the side and kind of spines along the head of some creature. And it kind of like peers in. And then it crawls back the rest of the way up the ship, and you see its kind of finned and webbed feet. The last thing you see as it climbs up the side of the ship.
Rowan
And
is
as
gonna
this happens, there's ruckus up above, and you hear the bell ringing even kind of harder, just cling, 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 cling. We're under attack! And the hatch at the steps opens up, and you hear frantically rushing down the steps the man you had seen earlier, the one who gave the furtive glances to our Lady Elena over there. You see he has a pair of keys in his hand, and he says,
Elena, it's gone too far. We have to end this now.
And he looks around and sees half of you already chained, and he says, "All right, good. Help me release the rest of them." And he goes around and goes to you first, Briar, right on the right side, and takes the key and shoves it in, opens that up, and he moves around the room, around the rest of them, whoever didn't have their hands freed yet, Asher, and then finally freeing, lastly, Rowan.
Rowan still has his this.
Oh yeah, he sees that, and goes and takes that. Elena, this has gone too far. We're under attack. I don't know if I could protect you from these creatures. Now hurry, they're all distracted. We have to get everybody their weapons. The consistency, I don't even remember what accent I was doing with this guy.
It's fine. Keep rolling with it. It's good. It's good.
Yeah,
It's good.
just roll with it.
There's a lot of characters in my head. Some of them
What's going
live
on,
there
ship?
rent free.
Akita.
We've landed upon some kind of coral or something, and now we're under attack by these shark men. There's sharks all around the ship, and some of them have
Rowan's
legs
gonna
and
put his
arms
hand.
and spears, and they're killing everyone. The pirates are all fighting them right now.
Rowan's gonna put his hand on this gentleman's shoulder and just kind of be like, "Relax. I don't know about the rest of them, but I think we can protect her as much as we need."
I could certainly use all of the help that I can. My duty is to protect her, and I will do whatever it takes. And
I'm gonna look at the dwarf and, well, Captain, what do we need to do to protect your ship?
Well, I think our best course of action would be to get our weapons first. And then we wait till it dulls down, maybe. And we emerge right in the midst of the chaos. We take that as our opportunity. The way I look at it, though, if we've landed upon some coral, there's a Sahuagin temple somewhere around these waters, and my guess is that we've hit it. This captain, he doesn't know. Captain Kerrigan, he doesn't know anything about the water. He's barely a seafarer. So he's run into a Sahuagin temple. That means we're in grave danger, but not only the pirates, but now the Sahuagin. What we're going to have to do is attack them all at once. The Sahuagin will feel like they're outnumbered. They only attack when they feel threatened. So they felt threatened, but now we have to make the threat seem bigger. We're gonna have to scare them off, and we're gonna have to kill the rest of the pirates and quickly repair the ship and get it off this coral.
I'm going to walk towards Elena and speak to Balin. So are you saying if we move the ship off the coral, we can keep going, yes?
That might take a bit of a repairing. I'll need as many hands as I can to get it back in repair shape. But I've recovered a ship from worse and kept it afloat. She'll be taking on water for a good while, but we'll have to take care of it.
Gonna stand Elena up and say, okay, we need to go get our stuff because, but we're gonna let them go first. Okay. He said he's protecting you. I want him to focus on killing, and we'll help. Yes?
So who are you saying this to?
Elena.
All right. Whatever keeps everybody safe.
Does Elena look familiar to anyone else?
To anyone else. She didn't even look familiar to Rowan. Just her description and her name sounded familiar to Rowan.
Okay.
He feels like he had been mentioned. Yeah.
Rowan's gonna turn to the gentleman and who are you? What's your name?
My name's Corbin.
Corbin?
Corbin. I'm a watchman for the Order of Heroes. And my sole duty is to protect Elena Farsight. She is a hero seeker oracle.
With that, Rowan's gonna say,
Further
do you know
deduce. Yes. As you say that, Elena kind of looks up at you.
Jethro. How is Jethro?
Rowan's gonna look at her, and kind of conflicted, he's gonna say, well, last I saw him, he was troubled. Now I'm here.
Troubled. Jethro, he's a good man. A very good man.
You know him?
Yes, very well. He used to be my watchman.
Can Rowan, from what Jethro disclosed to Rowan, can Rowan put together that this is possibly the Oracle?
Mm-hmm. Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
Rowan is just gonna put his hand out to her and kind of open his mouth and just kind of gently put his hand on her shoulder and say, I'm going to protect you. Stay close to me. And
she kind of caresses your hand and kind of like nods at you.
That would be much appreciated. I believe that you will.
And Rowan's going to turn to the other three. You two know who I am, or turn to Karan and Briar. And I didn't catch your name. Name's...
My name's Karan. It's a pleasure to meet you, Rowan.
Nice to meet you too. And he's going to put his hand out.
I'll shake it in turn.
And then he's going to, after hearing the conversations with Elena, he's going to shyly put his hand out to Briar for a handshake.
Like nervously, like don't bite.
Yeah, like nervously, like kind of like he doesn't want to do the wrong thing. Like, you know.
I don't know how to approach this woman. I'm confused.
You seem...
You're
You're
muted.
muted, by the way.
No.
I'm going to look at him oh so sweetly. And go, I'm Briar, nice to meet you. And look at Elena and go, please tell me you can at least put up a bit of a fight.
I'm not much of a fighter, but I think I will probably serve much of the same purpose as our friend Karan here.
Very useful then.
I used to be a temple mother before I joined the Order of Heroes, but
Ace
yes,
is this whole
I've
entire
done a bit of
conversation-
clerical work for sure.
Are you familiar with the farriers, or did you just happen to catch me practicing my craft?
She looks at you and smiles.
I am. Lovely people indeed when they obey their statutes, for sure.
Indeed, that certainly can be a caveat. And I'll kind of like glance like, out and away, like towards the stairs, if you will.
So this whole time, Ace will kind of be waiting by the hatch, kind of just like hyping himself up,
Yeah.
getting ready, kind of thing. Like, you
You
he's-
did
he's
rage
got
when
it
you tried to
back.
open the things the first time, right? I don't know how exactly does rage work as far as like before you go into combat again.
I can rage 2 times at
Mhm.
level 1, and then it goes up by the number or whatever level I am.
Perfect.
The rules of
I can
maintaining
keep my-
rage.
Yeah.
I can keep
So
my
it's like that.
rage.
Every time you make an
for-
attack or
I
get
think
attacked, right?
it's-
Mhm.
Yeah, as long as I'm being attacked.
Or you
Or
take damage.
Or taking damage.
Gotcha.
But basically, my back is still going to be turned. But I was listening, and Ace kind of like doesn't say much, but he goes, "I don't know who the Order of the Souls are. I'm sorry, Order of the Legends are.
Order of Heroes, yeah.
Heroes, whatever they are. But I know what an Oracle is. Are you able to tell us if we make it off this island, off this boat, alive?"
People always ask things like that. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. My visions come to me as like pasts, possible pasts, or futures and possible futures. I can only see certain pivotal moments and certain fragments of situations that need to be arranged for outcomes to be had.
We are fine. I've had visions. I have faith we will get off the ship alive. Together.
Is Asher close to Rowan?
If
I'm
you want
assuming
me,
we're all
sure.
okay. Rowan is going to still kind of try to stay close to Elena, but approach Asher and put his hand out. Rowan,
Asher,
and then just shake his hand.
I must
And-
get to Calliope Isle. It's grave importance. We will make it there, though.
We will.
I'm gonna. I've seen it, and I've seen all of this. You, kind of. Just have faith.
Rowan's gonna look around at everybody, seeming like everybody knows him, but he doesn't know anybody but Ace. So he's just gonna kind of. Well, I don't think we're going to get anywhere down here. We should probably go. No.
Where are our
Um,
weapons?
And then, with that, turn to Balin.
All right,
Sounds
we're gonna
like
have
we
to
need
look.
get out of here. Stay behind me.
We're gonna have to
Open
look
up the
for through.
hatch.
And you enter this storage area, as he said. There's multiple crates and barrels. By this point, some of the barrels have kind of toppled over, and as you lift up the hatch, one of the barrels has made its way on top of it, so you kind of have to like slide that out of the way. And actually, just off to the right, there's kind of a large, like, chest crate that's like coffin-sized, and yeah. What would you like to do? There's no people here quite yet.
Olsen, I'd like to check underneath my shirt and feel if my necklace is still there.
It is.
Was it taken? Okay. Then after that, you guys kind of see that Ace doesn't go over by the equipment. Strangely enough, he kind of just sits at the next door and waits.
You already have your things, right? Okay. Lovely.
Rowan is going to go back to Elena and tell her to stay close to me, and then he's gonna walk up to Ace. I'm right behind you.
I'll need it.
I'm
And
going
then-
to look for potions.
Look for
Actually.
potions.
I'm gonna
yeah.
look for my
Roll for an
sword and
investigation.
shield.
Roll an investigation check.
Oh, we're in the second tier already, right?
You're in the second tier.
Yeah.
Yep. You're in the
Oh.
the second tier where the storage, and like I
Oh,
said,
shit, yeah.
there's that crate that's like there's a really large kind of like, it's not necessarily a
Seven.
chest because it's a
Shit.
flat It's a flat lid. It's more like a trunk. It's a trunk.
Oh
That's.
my god! I almost forgot to look for my shit.
I was gonna ask him, like, are you just gonna go punch people too?
No, Rowan's gonna go look for his stuff.
Briar, are you muted, by the way?
Bro.
Well, I failed
Yeah,
my
I
search
wanna
for
find my
potions.
shit.
Could I make another
19.
investigation to find ingredients for potions?
15 plus 3, 18.
Because I don't have any weapons and anything to find. I think they have
So you're
everything.
just looking for potions. What was your roll on investigation?
Oh, it was a 7 for potions. So
7.
it was bad.
Yeah, you don't find any potions, but roll for ingredients. Go for it.
Okay.
19 for my weapons.
Oh, it was even worse. That's a 5.
I rolled an 18 total to see if there's anything of use.
An 18 on an investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Within this this room, a lot of it is just kind of there's food items there. It's
Good
but it's all seafaring food, not the best quality, but it's food nonetheless. There is a rack, and there's one rusty short sword still kind of on there. It's kind of got a chip missing out the side, much like the short swords you had seen the two pirates that came down earlier had kind of disrepair. But then upon opening that trunk, there is a lot of much nicer looking equipment that would be very familiar to most of you. Rowan, you have both of your
17.
no need, you found it.
Okay.
Sorry, you don't find your swords. You're gonna go without them for the rest of the campaign.
Yep. They're
The
gone
rolls,
now
the
forever.
trunk was your items. The rolls for the other stuff was just extra. But you, Asher, you do find your scimitar and shield, and
Sweet.
within that, there's also a kind of rather nice, dapper jacket in there as well. There's also Seth, that's yours. And also, if you want your jacket or not, there's your 2 swords, Rowan, the generational sword that's been passed down to you, but also a new one that's actually familiar to you, that you recall was always at the behest of Jethro, the gimmick sword that would alight fire every now and then in certain encounters, that you had always thought was just some kind of parlor trick, but he had confessed to you had actually a flame enchantment. And with that tied to it, there is a note that says, "Think and feel fire, and it will ignite." And it's signed with just a J underneath it.
Rowan is gonna hold the sword still in the sheath and turn to Elena, kind of showing her the sword and the note. Like, he has the note still like in his fingers like this while holding. And he's gonna start fastening them around his back like he normally would with his with his generational sword and Jethro's sword, and he's gonna start fastening while looking at Elena.
She looks at that sword. "That is a powerful weapon you have in your possession. I was there when he acquired it. I'm sure you will put it to good use."
Hopefully I'll do it justice. And just continue to fasten.
As far as everybody else's equipment,
Yeah.
your special
Mm-hmm.
little whip, vine whip, is now in your possession.
Mm-hmm.
I'll add all this stuff after the fact,
Mm-hmm.
and update everybody's items and
Mm-hmm.
all of that. But you hear, by blind.
Oh, yeah, we're adding a pipeline.
We have to have an exclamation
now.
point by blind.
Yep.
We have to.
Everyone say
have-
bye.
Bye, blind.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Well, maybe once, CPUs and GPUs become affordable and available,
Yep.
computer.
So yes, with that, you see Balin, he looks into the gets into the crate, and at the bottom of the crate he just kind of pulls out a spear, and our friend Corbin is already armed as he was in on it. And with that, you hear the ruckus of upstairs above deck, the screams and shouts of the different crewmates, and the clinking of swords, and the shouts of pain and the chaos up above. And you open the hatch, and the light shines in, and that's where we'll pick up for the next session.